I'd like to tell you a little bit more about myself and my family. And who am I? Well, Sapphire manager today, but I didn't start there. I'm grown up in a small place where, you know, the Janteloven, I don't know if you call that here in Finland, but for sure you have it. And a small tiny place, and having a lot of issues. I was not, sad to say, but I was not very happy child. I was scared, I was afraid, it was too much disturbing stuff around me with my family and I. So I was struggling. I had problems in school. I didn't know how to write and read. I cried a lot, and but I was a good sporty girl. And I think I became that because I needed to be strong to stay fit into the world so I could survive. And I started to paint, help everyone with the curtains, clean, do all the stuff, the practical stuff, because I was not good at school. So helping people, you get to know people, and you get very popular. Torun, can you bake some cakes for tomorrow's birthday party? Of course, I make you 5. That was my way of surviving and being popular. And of course, that is, when you do that, you keep doing it, and it gets a lot of work. A lot of work. But in my background, I fall in love with Per, and I met him quite young, and how it is, it turned out very fast to this beautiful girl, Pia. And we married, of course, and we have stayed together now for 30 years. That's been quite a journey, but I was young getting the kids and I didn't have any education, so I started to get my massage therapist education because I really want to help people, and most of all it was for my boy because he needed help. He had some issues and I really didn't want him to go through what I've been going through, so I wanted to be there for him, and of course most important, to understand him. Because the society around could not understand him. They were feeling he was too naughty, he was too loud, he was shouting, he was everything, so he was always been telling to sit down, be quiet, and I for sure knew that there was a lot more inside of him. So I really needed to get some education and help him get through life. So this now, he's a beautiful boy, 26 years old, and they're having a big career in sale, in clothing. They are sales manager directors, both of them. And hopefully one day they will, of course, join this business, but they need some experience out in life. And of course, they are even having to run this business one day, because that's the beauty in this business. But my background, well, it's like my baggage. I never blamed anyone about my baggage because I wanted to have to learn of my background to move forward in life. And my life was running, I was making effort, I was having success, I had my own clinic. I've been always good at starting, I've always had a lot of people around me, happy people. I decided when I was 17 years old that I never should talk any bad about people behind the back. And so I did, but then I experienced I had to leave a lot of times. Leave parties, leave activities, because people are talking, you know, about the weather and about people, and not always nice things. So I did some quite strong changes from 17 till I was 30. And I brought my kids along, and we had a lot of fun. We did things differently, of course, but it's hard to explain. But my son was sitting behind in the car, and one day he asked me, "Mom, why don't you laugh anymore?" And I almost shouted out to him, "I'm laughing." Like, you know, it's, and I would it was hard. I could not really make myself laugh, and I was wondering why, how come? I'm happy, I'm married, I have my business, I'm working, I have friends. And during this, the next year, I was thinking about it because he asked me 3 times during that year, why are you not laughing anymore? And I started to come home from work, and I was laying on the couch to rest, and I didn't recognize myself. And thinking about it, I know now for sure that I needed a purpose. I needed something more. I needed challenges. But I didn't have any education. And I didn't have many people around me believe that I could, or pushed me, or told me to step forward. Because in their eyes, I already was special, already did the crazy stuff. So, not having anything else for a living coming my way at my clinic, the therapists. And they asked me to join Forever to try the product, and I was even so mad, not in a good way, but I was so surprised they asked me. I even was thinking, when they asked me to join this, I said, what do you think about me? Do you really think I'm in a sale? You really think I want to do the network marketing? It was so embarrassing now. So like Christian Lulik said, keep asking. They kept asking me every Thursday for 8 months. And slowly it started a process in me. Because I could not see myself selling. In the small town, I didn't want to be a therapist selling, earning money. Please, give me a break. We all want money. We live for money. Money will not give you any happiness, but it for sure will make you the life you want for you and your family. But I was too embarrassed to admit that, so I didn't want to put money in the front, so I did not want to sell. So that was my beginning. It was a very, very slow beginning. And I wanted it to make fast because I'm a very impatient person. So when I decided, I went on a business presentation one night. I have already decided I want to do this. All the people around me were so surprised. And I got my husband into the contract, and I really wanted. I did this on a Thursday. On Friday, I wanted to go to Gothenburg on a convention there. The convention with less people than you are now. And they told me it's full, you cannot come. I just decided, and they told me not to come. And I almost stopped doing the business because I think they were so mean to me. And my husband, this was Friday evening, and Saturday morning, 6 o'clock, my husband said, Torun, take your sleeping bag in the car, go there, for sure they will let you in. I will not have you here this weekend. So I did. 11 o'clock, I met Monica Edwards from the office in the door, and I said, hello, I'm from Norway, I'm here. And she sneaked me in, and when I went into the room, they were playing, We Are Family. And I was like, oh. That was the first training I've been to with music, and I was thinking, this is what they are talking about. Hallelujah. And I was so happy. I was by myself, all alone, so I just could sit down and take it in. And during the day, I was writing a lot of notes. It was Dawn Parker there. She's from UK, and she was doing the skincare and the nutrition. And I was writing. It was a lot of fun. But when the day went long, it was quite new for me with all this clapping and cheering, and you know, it was coming out some sounds like and then a lady behind me nodded me on the shoulder, and she said to me, well, I don't know about you, but I've never seen any people getting sick out of applause and attraction and spirit. And I said, not me either. So I was after that getting my practice, and that was my start. And for sure, it was good. It was a lot of new information, and I even met Bobby Lomberg. She was taking care of me that night, very sick, but she didn't know me, she didn't know who I was, but she was taking me. I had the dinner, I had the pleasure to sit beside her the whole night and thinking, who is this? But later on, I'm so happy to have met her and to bring her story along in Forever. So that was my start. And when I decided I wanted to do it, and I'm not very smart, as you know now, and so I needed it to be simple. And we have a Forever Learning program, you know, Academy. So that was what I had. So I needed to use that one. So I opened the book and I started on page 1. And what did it say? Well, start to use the products. Talk to people. So I did. I used Forever Learning program, and if I'm going to give you my best tips to succeed, don't try to make any stuff your own. Don't make your own program, your own books, your own system. Use the system as there is, but design it as yours. It's not the book, it's the way you explain the book. It's not the words, it's how you explain the words, how you live the words. It's not about the beginning and the end. You decide if you want to start backward or in the front or in the middle. Use the system because you are then duplicating. And you don't get any confusion between all the groups, all the different people. They know what you are talking about. And doing this system and make the system work will make you a lot more sexier. We want to be sexy, don't we? Don't we?
Yeah.
Even the Finnish one?
Yeah.
Not only the Norwegian ones. Forever Learning program, and of course, doing all the trainings. Trainings. And my start and my trainings, in my town and in Norway, close to Oslo, there were no people, there were no trainings, so I had to very, very soon make my own trainings. And that probably helped me get started. I even was, in the beginning, we have the academy exam, and before I had the time to take my exam, like you do in the homepage, I was the teacher of academy. That's how it is when you have to make your own way, and even by using, of course, the system, so it was true, but that was the start for me. So I did something every day. I didn't know what, I didn't know who would work. I didn't know what I did who will become some results. But it was in the Forever Learning program, it all was in there, so I did what it said. 1 month, 2 months, and in the mid of February I was a manager, and in April I went to the new convention in Gothenburg. And again there was a lot of clapping. This time I met Magnus. And Magnus was quite shy like I was, but at that point I needed to get my recognition as an assistant supervisor, and I went up on stage, down again, up on stage, down again, all the way to the manager. And the manager, I was so afraid of this Danish man who's going to invite me, because I could tell he looked in my eyes, so I just fall off back, back the stage. And he was getting me up again, and he was asked me something, and I didn't understand anything. And he looked at me, and he asked again, red in my face, and he asked again. He was Jan Mørk, and he asked again and again, and then I finally said, this is so embarrassing, and he will not stop. So I said, Torun Nordskaug. I didn't know what he was saying. Now I know, but he was quite hard to understand because of the language, of course. So you go your way, and the name list, long name list, of course. do all the trainings. I did something every day. I worked on my name list again and again and again. And remember, 100 names is not long enough.